Hey class, Michael here, and today I am going to read The Giver by Lois Lowry. Now, The Giver was written in 1993 and published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt Publishers. And in 1994, the book won the John Newbery Medal for Best Children's Book for Outstanding Children's Literature. And the book is recommended for grades 7 through 12, ages 12 and up. It has a Lexile level of 760 and a DRA of 60. Now, the story is simple. It follows a 12-year-old boy named Jonas who lives in a place called the Community. It's just known as the Community. It's never given a name or anything throughout the book. I won't spoil it, but Jonas lives in this community, and everyone in the community is the same. They have different jobs and different names, but beyond that, everyone works for the community for the benefit of the community. There is no individuality. It's all basically you do your job, you live a happy life with your family, and that's it. No one can really experience emotions either, because in the book, emotions are diluted when a person becomes 12. And this actually plays into a part of the book I'm going to read. It's called the Ceremony of 12. And at the age of 12, every kid is given a job for the rest of their lives in the community. But also, they're given a pill at the age of 12 because we all know puberty starts around the age of 12 for boys and girls. And around this time, they begin to develop as well into adulthood. But the pills they take basically dilutes their emotions. And so people aren't really able to comprehend their actions and their emotions, and thus they just go on with whatever the chief elder who's in charge or the council, whatever they say, like, this is your job. You're going to be for instance, a 12-year-old girl could be given the job of birth mother, and at the age of 15 they'll start giving birth to kids, and that'll be their job for the rest of their lives, to have kids almost every year, or a few kids every few years. Or for instance, one of the characters named Asher in the book, he's given the job of recreation assistant, which is basically he'll help people, relax and stuff. I mean, the community is perfect. It's flawless, but it may be a utopia, but deep down there's something darker going on. And now I will read a passage from chapter 7. It's from the Council of 12 that's currently happening in the chapter. Here we go. The assignments continued, and Jonas watched and listened, relieved now by the wonderful assignment his best friend had been given. But he was more and more apprehensive as his own approached. Now the new 12s in the row ahead all had received their badges. They were fingering them as they sat, and Jonas knew that each one was thinking about the training that lay ahead. For some, one studious male had been selected as a doctor, a female as engineer, and another for law and justice. It would be years of hard work and study. Others, like laborers and birth mothers, would have a much shorter training period. 18, Fiona on his left, was called. Jonas knew she must be nervous, but Fiona was a calm female. She had been sitting quietly, serenely throughout the ceremony. Even the applause, though enthusiastic, seemed serene when Fiona was given the important assignment of caretaker of the old. It was perfect for such a sensitive, gentle girl, and her smile was satisfied and pleased when she took her seat beside him again. Jonas prepped himself to walk to the stage when the applause ended and the chief elder picked up the next folder and looked down to the group to call forward the next new 12. He was calm now that his turn had come. He took a deep breath and smoothed his hair with his hand. 20, he heard her voice said clearly. Pierre. She skipped me, Jonas thought stunned. Had he heard wrong? No. There was a sudden hush in the crowd, and he knew that the entire community realized that the chief elder had moved from 18 to 20, leaving a gap. On his right, Pierre, with a startled look, rose from his seat and moved to the stage. A mistake. She made a mistake. But Jonas knew, even as he had thought, that she hadn't. But the chief elder made no mistakes. Not at the ceremony of 12. He felt dizzy. He couldn't focus his attention. He didn't hear what assignment Pierre received, and he was only dimly aware of the applause as the boy returned, wearing his new badge. Then, 21. 22. Side note, children in the book are given numbers when they're born, and Jonas was 19. Fiona was 18, like she was the 18th born in the month. Jonas was the 19th born in the month, and Pierre was 20th. And they basically skipped his number. Now back to the story. The numbers continued in order. Jonas sat dazed as they moved into the 30s and then the 40s, nearing the end. Each time at each announcement, his heart jumped for a moment, and he thought wild thoughts. Perhaps now she would call his name. Could he have forgotten his own numbers? No, he had always been 19. He was sitting in the seat marked 19, but she had skipped him. He saw the others in his group glance at him, embarrassed, and then avert their eyes quickly. He was worried. He saw a worried look on the face of his group leader. He hunched his shoulders and tried to make himself smaller in the seat. He wanted to disappear, to fade away, not to exist. He didn't dare to turn and find his parents in the crowd. He couldn't bear to see their faces darkened with shame. Jonas bowed his head and searched through his mind. What had he done wrong? And that's the end of chapter 7. And yeah, the book, I could see why it was banned, because it does deal with a lot of topics that seem controversial to parents. Because I don't blame parents for banning this. Some parents, they don't want to talk to their kids about these subjects like puberty, lying to authority. I mean, it's not good to lie, but I mean, it isn't. I mean, some people may think like it's not ethically right to lie, but morally, in some certain cases, it is. But ethically, it isn't good to lie, and I mean, I don't blame some parents. Some teachers even don't read the book, and yeah, I mean, like I said, I read it during high school, and I honestly enjoyed the book, even though it was meant for more of a younger audience. But it's a good book overall around, and I enjoyed it. I did. It was a really good book, and it's a good story. And believe it or not, it's actually a quartet, because this is only the first book in the series. There's 3 other books actually. There's the first one, The Giver. Then there's Gathering Blue, Messenger, and then Sun. Sun was written in 2012, and that's the last book in the series, if I'm correct. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you all have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the video.